Macaco moorings are within the exclusion zone. Under weather circumstances, this will adversely affect dive companies. The Macaco Bay moorings are important when the south cone of storms are blowing. 50 yards is equal to 150 feet. Does that mean we can't drop any swimmers in waters less than 150 feet? And if that's the case, how are they supposed to see the reef? Most important of all, the RIR component of the DEIS is not complete. Section 5.4 states that you do not believe there will be an impact to the economy or sector in any way. You also state that revenue loss is uncertain. The reason you think it's uncertain is because you haven't done your work.
You have chosen this day to initiate your efforts basically to harass people who love the dolphins, consider them sacred, and spend their lives enhancing the dolphin-human relationship. When I speak of the Dolphinville elders, permit me to elaborate. We convened a community meeting last night. Many of those in attendance have been swimming with the dolphins for many years. I estimated that there was somewhere between 400 and 500 years of experience of direct contact in that room. Those experiences provide a wealth of knowledge and wisdom that far exceeds anything your agencies can bring to this discussion. You believe that you might have perceived some problems with the way humans are interacting with dolphins in our waters. You rely on studies that are generally out of date and provided little actual data to consider a conclusion that a problem even exists. In fact, some of your own studies found no problems. On that thin foundation, you proceed to construct a regulatory structure to govern the human-dolphin interactions. You come to our home to tell us what your plans are with the pretense of wanting to hear our views. You gather support from state of Hawaii agencies like the Department of Land and Natural Resources, who are more ignorant of dolphin behavior than you are. They express their support for, quote, eliminating swim with dolphin activities before you have held your first meeting.
The Naya at Kawako Bay were always left alone out of respect for their right to be there. I have never heard of Hawaiians trying to interact with dolphins. It was considered to be mahaoi, rude and disrespectful to intrude upon someone's territory, and that includes the dolphin and the whales. The relation between the presence of Kule in Kawako Bay and the presence of the Naya are also a reason why Hawaiians have not disturbed the dolphin. There has been an increase in the number of people swimming and chasing the dolphin, and the local residents have given up trying to educate them. I have passed out pamphlets to people. What they do, they just throw them in the trash can, for educate them. You talk about education. Listen to your own self.
They got the time constraints. They're talking about 6 to 3. Most dolphins, when they come into the bay, they play and they do this and do that. Their rest time starts a little later, I don't know, sometimes 9, sometimes 10. And so I guess, how many of you out there with the dolphins have seen a decline or feel like the dolphins are being hurt? If we were seeing the dolphins being hurt, we would be the first to speak up. I would be yelling as high and as hard. Say again?
You own the dollar sign. Yep. That's what links the other part of the population. You own the dollar sign.
Dolphin population has actually increased. It has not decreased.
There used to be much smaller groups. I've been here for all these years. In the beginning, maybe we'd see the dolphins over a week-long seminar or something like that, just 4 or 5 days out of a week. Now they come every single day to be with us, and their numbers have increased from up to 200 and more, and it keeps going higher and higher. It's just phenomenal, the number of dolphins.
So NOAA, we invite you to work with us to find real workable solutions, if in fact any are needed. And if that cannot be done, let it be known here and now that we will not go quietly.
Back in 1999, my wife and I formed Ka'uhana Naya, Family of the Dolphin. I am Keiki Hanai from Kahuna Lanakila Brant. And Kahuna Lanakila did a Ho'oamakua ceremony for us in '99, consecrating our connection to the dolphins and whales. It's our spiritual belief. We have received life force from those dolphins and whales. And it's our belief that we can continue to do that under the good old Constitution, First Amendment rights. So any rules, regulations will be met with lawsuit violating my constitutional rights.
I go down there on a daily basis to Honau. I get there early. I see no one in the water. The dolphins come in. There's a whole network of people that call each other. Soon, everyone goes right to the spot where the dolphins come in for rest. I think that is disrespectful to a group of animals that are trying to recuperate.
Corralled into shore, chased by 50 to 75 people at a time, and obviously being disrupted in their necessary biological cycles. Maybe this was different 10 to 20 years ago. There probably weren't as many boats doing this. But when you've been advertising a swim with the dolphin industry,
Aloha. Let's take a breath. We're here because we love the dolphins and Naya. I want to thank all my kupuna, past and present. I come from thousands, not hundreds, but thousands of years of voyages. And I come with heavy heart because the only way we're going to do it is we got a malama. When you go sleep tonight, just think now, they're out there, in the middle in the rough water, finding food for their babies. And all they want to do is rest, okay? Just like us. If you like to play with them, go out in the middle of the night, go play. Right? Come on, let me hear it, right? Go play. When they swimming around. But when they like rest, when you rest, do you like somebody come in your house and like sister said, Mahaoi? No. So let's swim in their fins. Sure, we love them. We're all like spiritual beings. We're all spiritual beings. We all want to say, oh, they don't, oh, this, oh, they this, oh, I love them. We all love them. Yeah, man. Yeah, I know. I swim my canoe. I'm in my canoe. I'm out there. But I don't go maha'oi them. They come to me and I love them, but I don't go maha'oi them. Never.
I've been swimming in a bay, in Honau Bay, for probably 35 years, and it didn't used to be like this. The dolphins would come in the bay, hang out, hundreds of them, hang out all day, just staying along the top. It was, nobody bothered them. And it's not like that anymore. And I don't need any scientific report to tell me that we don't have, how many dolphins there are. They're not there.
Dolphin chasing and aggressive behavior towards the animals of that striving, that reaching for, isn't acceptable. And to me, it seems like we've reached a very polarized and extreme thing where what's being offered is, you know, a fine of up to $27,500 for swimming with a dolphin. And I haven't seen the education the whole time I've been here that I think could make a huge difference. I'd like to see us work together to co-create something.
National Park Service has 413 units. They have 3,000 full-time paid interpreters. They have 69,000 volunteers who interpret nature and history at national parks. National Marine Sanctuaries have a few dozen. NOAA and NASA have a couple. We are not interpreting our oceans. It's being done by the private sector in boats. It's being done by fishermen. It's being done by good people like you who go down to Honau now. When you see somebody doing something disrespectful, you chat with them about it. And there are no simple answers to complex problems. I think we're trying to forge one. And I would respectfully suggest that the policy that's going to change is unenforceable. You don't have the enforcement people to do it. You want to build more enemies in the world, go out and arrest them and fine them heavily for being in the water with dolphins. And I would respectfully suggest that there's 538 people in Washington, D.C. that need to go out into the ocean and swim with live animals because they don't understand climate change. They haven't seen the bleaching of the coral. They don't have a good sense of what's being done in the industrial harvest of fish and all sorts of animals. And we need to do a better job of helping people understand where they live. And this particular policy won't do that. I would prefer policy 1 right now and like to see some sort of permit system for people who take people out officially and a training program. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Merriman.
Well, all I want to say a little bit to bring this up to date, to have some more facts put into it, is when they name all these bays that they're talking about, what is the common factor to all these bays that fit into an ecological profile of a Hawaiian spinner dolphin? They have 54 acres of sand in Honaunau, 117 acres of sand in Ho'okena, over 200 acres of sand in Kealakekua. The Naya got together with Keakua and said he won't create anything that will hide underneath the sand and attack you when you want to rest. You go into their bedrooms on purpose. The boat operators know when to go and where to go. And you go into the bedrooms. You tell me you're snorkeling, but there's nothing underneath you but sand to see. It's like the Sahara Desert. You get dizzy. I have corrections on how whoever brought up Norris's work, come on. I've heard from dolphinville.com, and one of the things I'm embarrassed about is that Dolphinville area is in Kealakekua, Pathway of the Gods. No one has the right to take that name away from these islands. No one. So all I want to say in addition to that is my proposal is really harsh, but it's manageable and it's enforceable. I want a 5-year moratorium on all commercial aspects of swimming. I want a stock and assessment plan for the state of Hawaii so we can get accurate amounts, because I'm going back 50, 60 years where the average mean in 2002 was 78. Before that, in 92, it was 138. And these are all up and down scientific studies that you can find online, Southwest Texas University. We have 60 years to say that there is a problem with us going into their bedrooms, denying a mammal a rest, and then leaving the babies to fend for themselves against a cookie cutter shark. 2006, 2007 mortality rate for 1-year-old babies trying to make it through their first year.
Thank you, Mr. DeSoto.
Is nearly 60% dead.
My concern with NOAA coming in and making these regulations, having spent a lifetime in science, is that calling graduate students with a couple of cameras sitting on top of a boat, shooting dolphin fins and trying to make a population estimate from that is ludicrous. It's not science. It has nothing to do with peer-reviewed science. It's nonsense. And to base your basically very draconian kinds of regulations on this as your first step to the problem shows how short-sighted and how poorly informed you are. I would love to see a little more information going back and forth. We do have a change in the situation from 20 or 30 years ago. There are issues with boats. There are issues with swimmers, with so many people coming in. On the other hand, if we looked at the kind of regulations that you're talking about now, you're talking about destroying the local economy. You're talking about doing severe damage there. You're talking about taking livelihood from a lot of people. And you're really suggesting that based on some science which doesn't exist, we should take all of these harsh actions. And if we were to work together so that we would have the common interest of the ocean and the dolphins in mind, then we could come to a much better conclusion than the nonsense that's been proposed here. So I would hope that we can spend some time working together, working out the real issues here. And as for these kinds of proposals, in Hawaii here, they usually don't require anything like other states where you need a fishing license or something to go to the water. This is a federal overreach and an abridgment of the Hawaiian tradition of having open waters, and the net effect of this kind of a regulation is going to be to prohibit the Hawaiian people from accessing their own waters. And that is a ridiculous federal overreach and is not going to be appreciated. Will cause a lot more problems than you can imagine.